Ruth Anderson and Terry Angel here for a meditation a day. Today we're doing what we call meditation excavation. That's when we just sit here and meditate. We invite you to meditate right along with us. We have no idea where it's going, other than the fact that we can feel a whole bunch of spiritual energy happening behind us. So I guess we'll figure that out as we go. Terry, I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad we're together. Good morning, everyone.
Okay, Terry's going to start us off and just meditate right along.
Yes, let's take a breath, breathing deep into your lungs, calling in the energy of the angels as we do so, asking Archangel Raphael, Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, and Archangel Uriel to surround us wherever you may be. Just feel their energy right now with you. And as we breathe in, we'll take a breath and go deep, deep down. Let it travel the length of your body until it goes out the bottom of your feet. And let's do some grounding into our Mother Earth. See that energy spreading like roots as it goes down deeper and deeper, down to the very core of our beautiful planet. And let's take a moment to breathe that in. Breathe in the energy and let it travel back up into your body, relaxing, getting ready to go into whatever message Spirit has for us. And anchor that grounded, balanced feeling being centered into your heart. And we're going to take another breath and let that breath, the energy of it, travel up and out to the universe, going right to the divine, to our Creator, to Christ, Divine Mother, all of the ascended masters and loved ones in spirit, the angels and archangels, all of the spirit guides. And let's breathe that energy now back down into our heart, anchoring it in with the earth energy. And now we're balanced and we have a channel going from earth to the ethereal realm. And we're ready to receive, we're ready to be open to whatever message comes forth for us today. And I'm really feeling Divine Mother. It feels like she took a seat in the chair that's opposite Ruth and I. And she's going to be a really big participant in this meditation today. So thank you, and thank you to all who are meditating along with us, putting your energy with ours.
Thank you, Terry. So I can honestly say I think this is the strangest visual I've had. So I'll share with you what I'm seeing. And then we'll figure it out and see what else they show us. But as I said, feeling all this energy behind us, it ends up, what I'm seeing is Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, a number of other archangels handing out flyers. And I said, what are you handing out flyers for? And what they showed me in front of us is the river of life. And we have seen the river of life many times in meditation. And what they've taught us is that it's, I can't think of what the word, it's like a metaphor. But if everybody who is alive currently is in this river of life, it's like a lazy river and people have inner tubes and hang out with their own people and that kind of thing. But what we've seen when people are preparing to transition, preparing to pass away or die, then they might come and get out of the river of life and sit on the bank and just kind of watch their family. They might get out of the river of life and just walk up the hill with one of their guides. We've seen that also. But what they're showing me, and this is so fascinating, is that they're handing out flyers to folks in the river of life. And I said, okay, what are the flyers for? And it was if they want to transition from being in the physical realm, this is a good time to do that. And I asked where Gabriel was, because to me, Gabriel is such a leader and a voice of God. Gabriel's up on a rock ledge watching. So he's not handing out flyers, he's watching. So it's just sort of a fascinating concept. And I know, Terry, we have gotten the message before at times that there's going to be a time where there's a lot of people passing away, transitioning. And I wonder if we're not getting closer to that time.
That's what it feels like. And I was seeing Gabriel also. I know a lot of times he's depicted as having a trumpet. And I felt like there was a call going out, calling people in so that they can experience. And I agree with you totally. There's such a time right now that people are deciding that they're more help to us in the spirit realm than being here where we are on earth. So there is that possibility that we're going to see more of the mass exodus, and it's okay. Everything is divine. So there's nothing to panic about or be concerned about. Just know that everything is working perfectly. And whatever is happening is in the divine plan.
Well, we also know that there's folks that just don't want to be here anymore. Not so much that they want to be working to help on the other side, but they're done here. And that's also okay. I mean, we need to be okay with people that we love deciding they don't want to be here anymore. And not take it personally, because this isn't about us. This is about each person and their individual walk. Sometimes Terry and I work with Divine Mother and we support her as what we've come to know the term handmaidens. And handmaidens has nothing to do with the story, The Handmaiden's Tale. However, we are working with her, supporting her efforts. And part of that is helping people pass over. And there is this outfit that we wear in the ethereal realm when we're in that role. And as she's sitting across the table from us, Terry, I look down and I see we're in that outfit. So I think even by just sharing this message, we're supporting the work of Divine Mother in helping others to transition.
Yeah, she's being very still. Many times I see her walking around and touching people or hugging or just holding space. But right now, she's just sitting there with this stoic look on her face. So I think she's taking it all in, all of the energy that's been coming forth. And she's helping us to understand that we can be calm, we can be peaceful in the midst of chaos. I mean, just think of what she went through in her physical experience on earth. Yet she remained calm.
So my human brain just went to, so how are these people going to die? What's going to happen? And I think it might just be like, oh, he had an accident. Oh, she was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
But there's really no such thing as that.
Mhm.
I think we have many opportunities during these life experiences to take that exit. So there's no accidents, there's no coincidences.
One of the things that I've learned in our work with death is that one of the best gifts you can give someone is to love them enough to support them as they transition over and not make it about yourself, because it isn't about yourself, but just to hold them in love and listen to them, just be there for them. Just be what they need you to be at the time.
That's really all that's needed, isn't it, Ruth?
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to be counselors. All we need to do is hold that space and show up. Let others know that we're there to support. I love what you said. It's not about us. It's about whoever is going through that experience in the moment.
And I'm reminded about free will, that we all have free will. And if a person chooses to take one of the flyers and chooses to use this time to transition out, that's their option, their free will. Sometimes we think everything is plotted out. Birthday, death day, how it's going to happen. I'm not convinced that every death date is planned out. Because if it was, the archangels would not be giving folks this opportunity to opt out.
Yeah, and we know that we have free will. So we choose in any given moment to make a decision about our life. And it's the same thing when it comes to the end of our life. So what choice are you making today that's making a difference in the world and in your own life? And just look around. See who's there that might need a smile or a warm word.
It looks to me like Divine Mother has a checklist of names. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The river of life is a fascinating theory. I was working with someone who had cancer, and as she was getting closer to the end of her life, I saw her step out of the river of life. She sat on the bank and she watched her family as they were in the river of life. And she sat there for a while and then she climbed back in to the water and into her tube, her little inner tube. And then she passed a week later. I just thought it was fascinating watching her do that.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm not seeing is with the archangels that I'm not hearing any, you need to live a good life, you need to repent. I'm not seeing any of that, or you're going to go to hell. They're not, that isn't even a thing with what they're talking about.
Yeah, there's no judgment. There's only that energy of everything is perfect. Everything is as it should be. And helping us to understand that. I see a lot of angels just walking around, helping people in and out of the water. Some of them are children. I see a lot of kids in the water playing. I feel that's Ariel that's helping them.
I'm looking at the invitations that the angels are handing out. They're not on paper. It's like a very thin piece of stone, about this big. It looks like it's an invitation from God, the Creator.
There seems to be a lot of chatter. Just seeing people talking to each other, kind of like when there's events going on in the world and everybody's paying attention to it and talking about it. This seems to be a big event, being here at the River of Life. And people not necessarily consoling each other, but being excited together. What's the next adventure? What's going to happen next?
Well, and it looks like people are trying to decide with each other, are you going to go or should we stay?
Right.
Some people are concerned that we're entering end times. And I know some people are waiting for the rapture, and I'm just trying to feel into, is that what this is? Now, keep in mind that when we see things happening in the ethereal realm, it does not necessarily correlate to this time here right now in the 3D. So just because we're seeing this now does not mean that it is happening now. So I mean, yeah, I know this makes sense, Terry. Did I explain it okay?
Yeah, because we, as humans, we pay attention to a clock and to linear time, but spirit time is so different because it doesn't adhere to our 1 o'clocks, 2 o'clocks, whatever it might be. It just is. And that's why when we think about eternity, we look at our linear time and we're like, oh my gosh, that's a long time. But in spirit realm, it's like it just is. There's no judging it or measuring it. So what's happening in that spirit realm, it is happening, it's already happened. But in our human experience, we're going to experience it the way that it's best for us. However, we can handle it, I guess, how we can wrap our brain around it. And sometimes we can't. Sometimes we don't have answers, and that's okay too. Just know that everything is working perfectly in divine time.
I don't know why they're reminding me of this, but I have learned that I cannot ask the archangels about timing, because when I ask, is it going to happen soon? Soon doesn't mean anything.
Right. Yeah, it's the same for me. A lot of people want to know when something's going to happen, and the angels just kind of like, it's going to happen when it's going to happen. They don't put a time and a date on it.
This is interesting. So it does look like downstream, there's a number of folks working their way up to where we are that are going to choose to leave at the same time. I don't know if that means there's going to be some kind of event that happens.
That's what it looks like, Ruth. It feels like people filing into like a stadium or somewhere where they're going to watch things that are being taught or shown. And I see people like holding a cushion that they're going to sit on. So they're preparing for whatever that event is. And they got the memo. They know to show up.
So are you saying is that people that are in the 3D realm now or okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think people are hearing the call and making decisions. We make decisions every moment.
I guess one of the points of this is we never really know when it's our time to go. And so it makes sense of what we would want to have things cleaned up before we go, whether it's relationships, friendships, even your financial stuff, having it in place, because we don't ever know when it's our time. They're showing me a really large clock. It's an old-timey, not digital.
Mm-hmm.
I have to imagine, just statistically, that every second of every day, there's a number of folks that transition. I mean, it just has to be, right, with as many people on the planet. But this is different. This isn't just the everyday time is ticking and folks are leaving. This feels different. We're not sharing this to be fear-mongering at all. Sometimes they share things with us just so we can prepare our hearts ahead of time. That's what this feels like to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's the reminder to stay in the present moment. Is when we project what might happen going forward, there's an energy of possibly of fear entering in. And there's nothing fearful. As we're looking at this journey that people are making, there's no fear involved. Just being open to what Spirit has for us.
Terry, I'm seeing that there are some folks that are fearful because they don't know what they expect when they transition.
Mm-hmm. And that's very common. We know from people who have had what's called a near-death experience, we know that there is more than just this life and then we're gone from this physical body. There's something beyond that. And it's not to be feared, it's to be excited about. I always refer to it as our next adventure. What's going to be that next adventure? And we don't know. I think it's going to be a very personal experience for each one of us.
If folks want to know more about how we at Enlightened World Network feel about dying and transitioning, you can just go to YouTube and pull up Enlightened World Network and type in death in the small search. And we have several shows where we talk about that.
And grief. grief is such a part of this human experience, because there's always change, there's always loss. So if you need support in that, there's some wonderful shows at Enlightened World Network that will help you through that process. I just saw Divine Mother close her book. It's like, okay, done.
Archangel Michael is just reminding me to share with you. There's no reason to fear death. The death itself is, from what we've seen, very love-filled. You're met with guides and loved ones who've passed before you. Death itself isn't to be feared, but I know a lot of people fear the dying process.
Mm-hmm.
The invitation is coming from the Creator. So if part of this for you is strengthening your relationship with the Creator, perfect time to do that. And really, that's what Enlightened World Network is all about, helping people strengthen their relationship with their Creator.
Mm-hmm. Walking each other home, as Ram Dass says. I think that's important to know, that we're not alone. We might feel alone in this journey that we're on, but when we really look at it, we're all one, and we can feel into that oneness. So find that which gives you support. And this is a beautiful place to be, to find that.
Mary, are you seeing that there's more to share here?
Nope. I see Divine Mother not in that chair anymore. She was done.
All right, friends. Thank you for being here. What an interesting meditation for us. Very different.
Yeah, what a beautiful message. We don't have to be afraid. The only thing that is real is love. So feel into the love, and the fear just falls away.
Yeah. Friends, take good care. God bless.